As the frontiers of development are pushed to the remote edges of the world, special resilience and resourcefulness is required of all those who go. More than a mile inside snow-capped Mount Tyee, a tunnel is being driven from sea level to tap a 1,400-foot high glacial lake. The Tyee Lake Hydro project is part of Alaska's comprehensive drive to develop its vast hydroelectric potential. The site is in a roadless wilderness surrounded by glacial peaks and deep fjords 40 miles southeast of Wrangell. The project, a powerhouse for two 10-megawatt generators, a 7,100-foot tunnel, an 1,120-foot vertical shaft, a 450-foot upper tunnel, and a 420-foot gate shaft, in an area that still literally belongs to the bear and the fish. Harrison Western built a camp for its construction and support crews. Recognizing that a good camp with good food is important for any remote area operation, we inserted an enclave of Americana, complete with cooks and bakers, clerks and telephone operators using HF and VHF radios. We even operated a company airline, complete with our own landing strip. Logistics at times were more formidable than the mountains. Personnel and priority cargo travel on our bush-tested de Havilland Beaver. Heavy equipment and bulk cargo from the lower 48 are placed on small barges at Ketchikan for transshipment to the job site. Annual rainfall of more than 180 inches, tidal variation of 18 feet or more, coupled with unpredictable storms and fog banks, complicated the problems of logistics. Lack of road access to the Tyee Lake made the helicopter a substitute for the pickup truck. For the gate shaft site development, it was the sole means of transportation. Sophisticated use of the helicopter allowed us to schedule key phases of the project concurrently rather than by sequence. This simultaneous progression on all fronts reduced overhead all around. The powerhouse excavation and scaling proceeds while the tunnel crew is thousands of feet inside the mountain. This complex hydro project involves all the usual disciplines of heavy construction, civil, electrical, mechanical, and underground, as well as some rare skills such as shaft raising and lake tapping. Harrison Western Corporation brought to this $50 million job all these disciplines under a single corporate umbrella. This eliminated juggling subcontractor deadlines and schedules. It cut costs and time-consuming delays and assured timely completion despite the intrinsic problems of access, communications, and weather. Harrison Western's civil construction background runs from hydroelectric projects in the Dominican Republic to the Yukon Territory. Working with many different government organizations, we have constructed water diversion tunnels throughout the western United States and South America. In 7 months, the tunnel crew, using a Tamrock 2-boom electric hydraulic drill jumbo, advanced 7,200 feet into the quartz diorite mountain. The drill and blast operations averaged 35 feet per day, with highs of 57 feet per 3-shift day. From the early 1970s, our crews have excavated more than 2 million cubic yards in chambers, shafts, slopes, and tunnels through both hard rock and soft ground formations. Harrison Western President Al Provost, a veteran miner himself, inspects the heading. This area will be enlarged to accommodate the transition for the shaft raise. A Haglund self-discharging shuttle train unloads from a trestle. The Alimac Raise Climber with service cab is assembled and mounted for checkup. At a transition platform, the Alimac is suspended on its own geared rails. The sprocket drive gear. Miners start out lying on their backs behind the shield of the working platform. As the Alimac shifts from horizontal to vertical, miners pop up on their feet for the ride up. At the top, a hatch provides access to the working platform. The first job is to add another section of the rail, which contains air, water, and electric pipes. As one of the nation's leading underground operators with more than 50 miles of shaft and tunnel experience, we've been here before. The bolted rail allows the drilling platform to rise 8 feet closer to the face and commence drilling the blast holes. An explosives wagon arrives with a load of ANFLO. Our crews have experience with the full range of tunneling equipment and procedures, from these raise climbers to hard rock tunnel boring machines, soft ground shields, and road header excavators. Average daily advance of the 10-foot diameter raise was 18 feet, with highs of 32 feet per 3 shifts. The spoils are removed by the hag, while topside the miners continue their upward thrust. After a few hundred feet, an additional shuttle car was added to maximize the logistics of personnel and supplies. Here, at 1,100 feet up inside the mountain, the men work over a black hole taller than the Empire State Building. In this inner space environment, as we see the Alimac service cab shuttle people and supplies, we are reminded of a shuttle docking in outer space. At 1,132 feet, the Raise is the tallest ever driven in the United States and one of the highest in the world. Miners ride up the newly completed vertical shaft and carry their jacklegs to drill and blast the face of the 450-foot upper tunnel. Our project team's extensive experience in all phases of the mining construction industry served us well here. The muck from the blast is scraped out by a slusher. The slusher machine is recessed into a 7 by 7 by 8 foot chamber across the vertical shaft. Stringent planning and review procedures with a sharp eye on cost control help ensure the success of our construction project. About halfway to the lake, the crew stops to raise the second vertical shaft for the gate valve. Pieces of an air-driven Alimac are hauled up and manhandled, dragged and bullied to the assembly area. With water seeping in everywhere as they approach the lake, miners reassemble the machine and quickly put it to raising a pilot hole up to the gatehouse location. On the surface, helicopter-supported crews have already drilled and poured a 12-foot diameter concrete collar ring 25 feet deep. A feat of precision surveying and control. After more than a year, with a 7,200-foot power tunnel, an 1,132-foot raise, a 420-foot upper power tunnel, the final rays broke through to the pre-constructed collar within inches of the center line. Afterwards, the pilot rays was slashed to a full 12-foot diameter from the top down. Helicopter delivered concrete, 1,250 cubic yards, went into the 43-foot-long transitional gate support structure and the concrete liner of the lower 200 feet of the gate shaft. A Bell 214 moves 1 yard every 5 minutes. The concrete is picked up at the dock and transported 2 miles and 1,400 feet up the mountain. Over the past years, Harrison Western has tackled many public and private underground construction projects, constantly refining knowledge and techniques. After the gate shaft was poured, a 9,000 horsepower sky crane was utilized to lift this 16,000-pound gate up to the shaft. This precision aerial performance was as efficient as it was impressive. The entire operation from liftoff to set down took slightly over 3 minutes. Meanwhile, other aspects of the project were pushing forward. Here, the access portal near the powerhouse is lined with concrete, while the upper tunnel is driven to within 10 feet of the lake. Nearby, crews from Harrison Western's electrical division push ahead with the electrical substation contract. In addition to this, Harrison Western also constructed switch yards and substations in Wrangell and Petersburg. Simultaneously, millwrights, under supervision of Harrison Western's mechanical engineers, are installing the complex innards of the powerhouse. A Swiss-made stator is precisely seated. From hydro projects to sophisticated modern mines to other natural resource developments, Harrison Western can provide dependable single-source construction service on an international basis. One of 2 Japanese rotors of the twin 10-megawatt generators is carefully installed. Just as the turbine shaft is attached to the stainless steel Pelton wheel, crews topside are ready for the final lake tap. This delicate operation of tapping into a lake 160 feet below its surface is a classic, performed like a choreographed engineering minuet.
What time are we scheduled for now?
Probably 5 o'clock.
Maybe a little earlier.
Maybe a little earlier.
After the final 10-foot thick plug is loaded with 450 pounds of dynamite, the gate is lowered and 400,000 gallons of water pumped into the upper tunnel and back up to the gate shaft to equalize the water pressure on both sides of the shock. Compressed air is piped down for an air pocket behind the face to dissipate the shock of the explosion.
What?
The tunnel cleared? Nobody in the tunnel?
Well, tunnel's okay. It's sealed up and ready to take.
Yeah,
There's nobody in the tunnel. No, they cleared the tunnel.
2 separate sets of circuits and caps are used to ensure positive detonation. This was one of only a handful of lake taps performed in the United States since the invention of dynamite. Down below, near the portal, workmen from Harrison Western's mechanical division continued installation of 1,800 feet of high-pressure steel penstock in the confines of the power tunnel. 1,800 feet into the tunnel, the flares out to 8 feet in diameter. These huge sections of pipe are carefully maneuvered into place and joined by skilled craftsmen. Reinforced forms for the 60-foot concrete tunnel plug that will embed the 8-foot penstock and anchor it in the 10-foot tunnel. Concrete is delivered by Moran agitator cars to the heading. Harrison Western's long years of underground work, from mines all over the world to the complex North American Defense Command Control Center inside Cheyenne Mountain, made this look easy. Conveyors feed the mix to a pump, which then feeds into the forms. The payoff of Harrison Western's dependable single-source service is on-time completion. Despite the isolation, the logistical problems, the hostile climate, and major change orders, the project was brought online right on schedule. With strong control systems, top-quality professionals, and the flexibility to meet the individual needs of each client, Harrison Western can complete just one part of a development project or can offer the option of a single-source contract for the entire project. As a leading resource development and services company, we bring to our clients the expertise and the commitment for getting things done. Harrison Western, a heavy engineering, construction, and mining company that provides services to mining, energy, and natural resource industries on an international basis.